Russian forces continue their siege of Ukrainian cities. The battles have forced millions of Ukrainian civilians to flee. And just in the last couple of hours, a Russian strike devastated a hospital. Skylar Henry is at the White House with the latest on the ground in Ukraine and the refugee crisis the war has now created.
The Kyiv Symphony Orchestra used a temporary ceasefire to stage a concert Wednesday, a brief respite from the war. Outside of Kyiv, in the suburban city of Irpin, others used the break as a chance to escape the front lines. Humanitarian corridors in Irpin, Chernihiv, Sumy, Kharkiv, and Mariupol are allowing civilians to flee.
The Kremlin has changed their plan to a war of attrition, which means they're going to smash every town and city to create this terrible refugee flow, the weaponization of refugees, if you will, to put pressure on the Zelensky government and also on other European governments.
More than 2 million people have escaped Ukraine, with about 1.5 million now refugees taking shelter in nearby Poland. Poland is the first stop on Vice President Kamala Harris's trip to Europe. In addition to discussing the refugee crisis, the vice president will also talk about Poland's offer to supply Ukraine with Soviet-era fighter jets. Ukraine says the Russian-made jets can be put to use right away because their pilots are already trained to use them.
The best bet is the older Soviet Union types like MiGs and Sukhois.
Poland agreed to supply the jets, but only if they first go to the U.S. and other NATO countries before being delivered to Ukraine.
Afternoon, everybody.
The Pentagon shot down that plan, saying it would create the perception that NATO was taking part in the war. Skylar Henry, CBS News, the White House.